to our Logan Mason. Oh, there we go. Welcome to our Logan Mason ROSC Council meeting. Glad for you to join us. And even if you're watching this on the rebroadcast, because I do know that some of you all come back around who can't make it during this time. So thank you. And we're not forgetting about you. We appreciate you tuning in. And always remember that you have access to us if you're watching this later, if you have questions. If we discuss things throughout the meeting that you'd like to get more information on, please don't hesitate to reach out. We want to make those connections and help with that. So again, thank you all for being here. I don't know if I see anyone quite new that's joining us, but I do always think it's important that we revisit what we're doing. I just feel like it's important. It keeps us centered and keep us focused, knowing that the ROSC are the, I want to say the heartbeat of what we're trying to do is coordinate, right? Trying to collaborate, trying to make a way for us to connect in the most seamless way. And we know and understand how difficult that is. So just trying to find new ways to make ourselves available to help that process. Because we understand you have so much going on your plate, so many things going on. But if we can be of assistance to pass on the great work that you're doing, to pass on communications, or you're in need of volunteers, or those type of things, please keep us in the loop and use us that way so that we can help to make those collaborations and connections, because ultimately that is really what's going to serve our community and our population best. So does that make sense? Yeah. All right. And in the spirit of that, I found this quote that just really, it blessed me thinking about it. Coming together is a beginning, right? Staying together is progress, and working together is success. So just really always looking for the spirit of working together, that it's ongoing. We understand that it can get laboring and it can even get discouraging. Some of the brick walls that we hit, but it's even more reason why it's so critical that we support one another through this, because obviously we wouldn't be here if the desires of our heart is not to make our community better and the folks that we serve more successful. So thank you for being here. Please know that I don't count it out as just something to check out a box, that you're spending your time with us, and we appreciate that. We're going to also, we have an opportunity for here in Logan Mason County. So there's prevention coordinator. It's going to be a unique kind of position, but it is going to be touching our area and our folks and what we're doing here in ROSC. So we just ask that if you can pass that on. There's a QR code to make it easy to pass that on to people, amazing people that you may know that are interested, or who knows, you may be that amazing person that might be interested. So Nadia, is there anything you want to add to this specifically at all?
This role would supervise projects across the SUD continuum for services in Logan and Mason County. So anything from primary prevention to recovery supports. So yeah, if you have anyone in mind, let me know and send them my way. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see here. All right. Well, we, again, as I mentioned last month, and for those of you who may have not been available to attend, we really want to spend some time this year highlighting some amazing work that you all are doing. The truth is that as many Zoom meetings we sit in, and in-body person meetings and conversations we have over the phone, somehow, some way, we can still lose or miss or don't catch all that, the amazing work that's happening. And I've had the privilege to spend time at the Salvation Army and just being able to hear what's going on, some of the amazing things that are happening. So I am thrilled that Rachel has decided I was willing to come and share some of the great work that they're doing. And so we are just going to spend some time highlighting their services. And I want to please everyone help me welcome Rachel from Salvation Army. Thank you for joining us.
Yay. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. So I normally share things through Teams, so I do apologize if I don't share them as quickly as I could through Zoom. I'm gonna pull up first, I believe, my PowerPoint. Let me see if I can screen share.
You should have screen sharing capabilities, Rachel, but let us know if you're having an issue.
Okay, let me know when you can see my screen.
We can see it.
Okay. Let's see, maybe I can make it a little bigger.
You're muted, Jeanette.
As you're getting that together, Rachel, I see Ann put a little chat there about volunteer opportunities. The YMCA is having a golf outing on May 19th at the Lincoln Elks Golf Club and would love to have some volunteers. So thank you for shouting that out. I will add that on to other things that we are doing that they're looking. And there we go, Rachel. I think we're all set.
Okay. So, we're the Salvation Army of Lincoln 360 Life Center. We have been serving 150 years, not myself only though. So Salvation Army in our county is a little bit newer. I think we've been around since the 70s in Logan County. This is a quick little screenshot because not all of us are gifted in geographic locations. I've kind of highlighted quickly the coverage area that we actually serve, and Salvation Army generally, unless you are in Salvation Army, all of our procedures are a little confusing and how our process is. There's officers and majors, and no, we're not the Army. We are social services. So we got Cook County up there. They are our territorial headquarters as well as our divisional headquarters. We've changed us from Heartland to North Central Illinois. Maybe one day we'll be one whole state, but no, not today. In the red, it's a little harder to see. That is the Lincoln coverage area. That green box for Peoria, that's our Peoria area. So they've switched it from divisional down to area commands. And we do cover 8 counties: Cass, Christian, Logan, Mason, Menard, Moultrie, Schuyler, and Shelby. We have the largest presence in Logan because we're here. Mason, we are always trying to build that up. We have a little bit in Christian and Shelby County. They're our next ones. Sometimes Cass and a little bit Menard. Schuyler, we're struggling with Schuyler and Moultrie to get all 8 counties represented effectively anyways. So my biggest thing that I work out of is, and one of my favorite programs is Pathway of Hope. So we establish goals with families or individuals to help further self-sufficiency. It's case management through advocacy. We have different measurements that we'll use. They're really to give us a better outlook on how our clients are doing. We're looking at, we try to get a whole picture because we know that we may be coming in with one problem, but we're just people and we have more than one need. Our lives are messy. So we try and do holistic services as much as we possibly can. That includes employment, legal skills, financial planning. Everybody who comes in, we're going through a budget. And we want to see how are you doing in all of these life skill areas. The areas that people are struggling in, that's where we focus our goals on. The areas you're doing well in, you're already doing well. You don't need case management for that. People always have a opportunity to change what their goals are. We let people know if there's anything not on your goals that you want to work towards, then let me know. We'll add that to it. If you no longer want to work on something, we'll exit that. It's a voluntary program. One of the nicest things is we are not court mandated programs. So you get to choose what you want to do. We're here to be your advocate. are the expert of your own crisis, and you know what's going on more than we do. We've got a lot of resources that you may not know, but you may already know, and you may also teach me some things, because each person that comes in teaches me or our other case manager more things, more resources that we find out, and how to better help the next person. So there's always something new for us to learn, because again, we all have our own problems and our own strengths and weaknesses. So there's always a new way to help. So we do go over quite a few different things. Everyone who comes in, we want to make sure that you have all your public benefits, no matter where you're coming in. If you've already enrolled, let's see, maybe your income has changed, let's get that, your bases covered. We do go over, if many people don't have your ID or social security cards, those kind of legal documents. If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to get employment. It's harder to get benefits. So we start with your basics and move on up to see how much can we help with. Sometimes we have funding for things like GED, license, birth certificate. It just depends on the grant year when we have the funding. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. So I try not, this is a guideline that sometimes we have the funds to pay for it. If we can't pay for it, we do know there's a few other agencies in town like Community Action and Heartland that have different kinds of programs, or even Illinois WorkNet that we know we work with them on a regular basis that we can refer you to. We also have our transitional veteran housing. So that one has been here for a little while. We have a max of 10 beds available in our second floor for single male veterans just within our facility. And just because you're a woman or if you have kids doesn't mean that we can't help you. This means that you won't be residing in our building. There are other locations that you can help with, or that you can go to. Bloomington has women facility as well as Champaign. So it's for Central Illinois. You don't have to be from Lincoln to come to Lincoln. We'll work with you wherever you want to move back to or relocate to. So they do similar case management, resource referrals, getting your VA benefits, making sure that you have everything that you are entitled to. There's, sometimes it's just lack of not knowing what you can actually use or the resources that are available to you. So we want to make sure that we do that. We also, any veteran that comes in, we'll screen them through the tiny homes portion with the Central Illinois Veteran Commission. Make sure that everyone, again, can take advantage of their full things. So here's a little bit about Pathway of Hope. Some people come in crisis. Well, normally it's in a crisis. And this is just kind of the phase that people go through. And at any point in time, we realize that not everyone heals in the same way or moves forward. And you may just need a little bit of assistance and move out of crisis, or you may actually have to go through this whole process before you can get to final being more economically self-sufficient. We're here to help along this whole process. We do have our food pantry, which is open once a month for any of our clients, volunteers or staff. We don't have an income guideline. If you're in need and you come in for food, we can help you. We do serve all of our 8 counties with that food pantry. If you're in Pathway of Hope case management, then you get to come in whenever you meet once a week with your caseworker. You also receive food pantry at that time. And this on here says soon to provide, which we are actually very exciting. Just this month, we had our first one on this the first Thursday of the month, and we'll have our second one on the 4th Thursday of the month. So we do have that started, which I'll show a different picture in a moment about that. But we do need, like it says on here, the volunteers to help keep that going. Eventually, I would like to get volunteers also from Mason County, so that way we can serve more than just Logan County with that mobile canteen. There's a picture of the van down there, so you can see how we serve out of it. Normally we have a table that we'll put in the back. And we serve our regular food dry items as well as the produce and the frozen items. So this also has a little bit of emergency disaster services on here. And the bottom picture on the right, where we do National Donut Day for all of our emergency responders. That was a fun little thing that started in World War II. There were women who decided to hand out donuts and milk to all of the frontline men and women during World War I. And we're not in active war anymore. So instead of being on those front lines, we serve our first responders as best we can. But we do have funds for just 1 or 2 night hotel stay out of the disaster services, food and hygiene items, and emotional spiritual care. And that's specifically natural disasters. So it has to be a flood, tornado, fire, or some other natural disaster to get that kind of assistance. We often do school supply drives. That's in August. If anybody wants to help either pick up items from various churches or agencies that say yes, that they will take a box to their place of business, then near the end of that, we need help going out to collect all the boxes and the items, but then we also need help redistributing them back to the elementary and junior high school in our area. So they are also available to any of the clients that come in, whether it's food pantry or a Pathway of Hope or something else. We've been trying to get that music academy to work and just haven't been able to get enough people interested yet. So that one we'll just kind of leave. I'm not sure if we'll try and push for it again this year. We've got a lot of things going on. And it's just showcasing our bell ringing, which is very important. Bell ringing is our major fundraiser. So we do appreciate all of our bell ringers and all of our volunteers. If anybody's volunteered in any way, you're welcome to our bell ringer brunch that is this Saturday at 10 a.m. We're going to be at Mission Church for that. But we also do our angel tree during Christmas. That one this is the first year we had so many people come in. It was a real blessing. We were able to serve, I believe, 86 children received clothing, coat, and at least 1 or 2 toys this year, which is just the outreach from our community was really, really great, because I know our agency did that, but Toys for Tots served over 300 families, and I know the Lincoln Christian Church did another 82 children as well. So that's just, that is just a great resource that we have for our community. So anybody wanting to help put out that word around Christmas time, come in, because there's no reason kids should go without. Or another thing parents don't realize, and sometimes it's a pride thing, not wanting to ask for help. But sometimes people don't realize that resource is there, and you always think that it's for the next person. You don't want to take from somebody else, but when there are people who are here willing to give and support you, it's really just encourage people to go out and even just apply and see if they qualify for that kind of assistance, because you don't want to break the bank putting things on your credit card to pay for Christmas when people in your community may come together and do that for you. Put that towards your energy bill or something. But we do have rental assistance and utility assistance for Logan and Mason County as well. We do Illinois American Water. So where our energy assistance comes in as Community Action takes care of the lowest tax bracket, and then our program covers the one right above them. So you can refer anybody to us. If you don't know who qualifies for which one, we have the guidelines for both, and we'll be able to get them to the right place. We do also have that rental assistance when both the rent and some of our additional hotel stay comes from emergency food and shelter programs. We're so grateful to have that for Logan and Mason County as well. Right now, I know we've used all of our rental assistance. And I want to say on a given year, we usually help with about $30,000. Sometimes a little less, sometimes up to like 32,000 with the rental assistance, just in and of itself that way. So a lot of different programs. This, again, just a little bit about Pathway of Hope. And if you're interested in bell ringing, let me tell you, our volunteers are stretched pretty thin around bell ringing time. So if you ever want to help with recruiting bell ringers for us around that time of year, calling people, and even just entering people on our register to ring site, that's always super helpful. I was telling Jeanette, we didn't even have 50% of our locations fully manned. So if you see an empty kettle there, no one, not very few people, I'll say, want to put money in. But if you see somebody standing there, that's when someone's going to donate. And we could definitely, I think at least almost double, if not more, if we were to actually have all of our locations with bell ringers at them.
Yeah, wait, I'm gonna, sorry, Rachel, I do want to knife in real quick right there, because I do want to emphasize, like, not even 50% of the spots were filled for their, the biggest fundraisers they have. And I think we can work together to do better right there. So I know that we've committed for me to take it to the Recovery and Action Group and perhaps create some subcommittee, something of a team to start getting people together to help fill that need. But I just wanted to reiterate, because funds did come in, but if we could only imagine, Salvation Army does touch our, our communities, and I think we can do better right there, and we want to help.
And I think we could easily have a $50,000 bell ringing campaign if we had those locations manned. So that's a picture of our mobile canteen. That music, I don't know if this is going to go through all of my pictures. I thought it was just going to do specific ones. This one will help.
It looks like we have a blank screen.
Oh, okay. Let me hit stop share and then new share. Sorry. This one just shows a little easier those counties. I don't know if it'll if I need to stop and reshare again. Because I didn't talk, just to give you a little information. Let me just see if I can go to the right. Yep, nope, it won't let me go. I'll have to go through each one. I won't take you through each one because I know our time is limited. And we'll pull up our referral things for some of our programs. So the one thing I didn't touch on is we do have, this is the first year we've applied for emergency transitional housing. And it's been a struggle, to be real. Just finding and maintaining hotel providers that want to work with us. We have sometimes that all it takes is just one person sometimes, but I know working with people, I want to give everyone another chance, but our hotels do not want to give everyone another chance. And it's really unfortunate to me that some of the hotel providers want to have the attitude, not in my backyard is what it feels like. I wish that we could just have like a few rooms designated here, Salvation Army can use them, but we just don't have that. So it's just taken us a long time to get that together, and I wish that was a different story for our communities. But we do have a hotel that is willing to work with us right now. It isn't necessarily the one that I would normally recommend, but I don't want people sleeping on the street. So we do have a hotel available, and we can now house, originally we only received a small amount and we could only help 3 people, but we were given extra winter funds and we now are able to help, I believe more than more than 10 people. We have, we were given an additional 115,000 to help with hotel voucher stays. It does cover all 8 counties still. So we do still have to go through our screening process. These are some of the pre-screen questions that we ask. And let me know if you can see this.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So based off of this form, we can tell usually pretty clearly if somebody qualifies for the hotel voucher program. What goes over for our program specifically, you do have to be, well, you don't have to be employed, you have to have income. Because we do request people to save anywhere between 30 to 50% of their income to be in this program. One thing that we have found with some of our housing programs is it can take up to 90 days just to find employment, unfortunately. So we're trying to use those funds as best we can, and are looking to help those who are homeless but also have income. And it could be SSI, GI, or cash assistance, but you have to have some kind of income so that way you can put that money aside. Again, knowing that sometimes agencies have funding and sometimes we don't. We don't want to set people up for that failure. So if they're able to save, it's a 90-day program that they can stay in. Each month you're saving 30 to 50% of your income, and we base that off of their budget. So that way you still have all the funds that you need to pay for your immediate bills outside of the hotel stay. And that money will either be used for their deposit or first month's rent. And if they, between Community Action and our agency, have those things covered, then that money is going to go towards furnishing their apartment. Those first few things that normally you just have to start over. Not everybody has the funds to keep on paying for a storage unit, because when you're starting over, every penny counts. So most of these questions are requirements from the state. We have to be able to report this information. And it'll also most help us find the way to best help you. So this question, if you have the time to go through this with the client, would be helpful to have, but if you don't feel comfortable asking these kinds of questions, we know how to go through these questions and ask them. Not a problem. It does make it faster for us if the client comes in with this already completed. See, I don't know if I can. If I switch to a different tab, let me know if you can see this other. Can you still see that one, or are you on the previous screen?
We're on the new one, Rachel.
Okay, thank you. So this program right now, again, we have a lot of money to spend until April. So I know there's only so much either myself or Gwenda can do, but we are willing to try and help as many people as we possibly can through April, because then we will be through the rest of our fiscal years through June. We will only have the funds for those 3 other individuals. So we will still have some funding available, but it won't be as much funds. So we can, we do have like some supplies where when you go through Some of the courses we have are financial planning. One that I'm really excited about is our life skills course. So this one is where you guys come in. We are looking for people to help teach a skill. And you may not think you have a skill, but we all have skills. Just so you know, you do have skills. Don't doubt yourself. We would really, really like just like for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, very max, to those things that you wish you had somebody to teach you, but you had to find out the hard way. If it's changing a tire or something, you can, do a video of yourself doing it, or if you want to do it in person in our parking lot and show us all. But lived just life skills that you're like, man, if somebody could have just went through this, I would not have struggled as much. We want to, if you can teach a skill, that would be great. We also want any of the community members or our Pathway of Hope clients to be able to teach their own skill as they're going through this. Just so we can learn from each other. Just because we happen to be the case managers or teachers right now doesn't mean that we know how to do everything in life. So we just want to keep that open and empower people to, even if you're going through a program, you still have skills that are important and that you can teach us as well. So if anybody has something they would like to share, please just get a hold of me through my email for that. This is, it says SHP on there. It's our supportive housing program grant, but all of our funding usually helps our Pathway of Hope when I write for grants, because that's one of our major ways that we can help people on an ongoing basis, besides just the one-time emergency assistance once a year. So, but this is normally when you're coming in, a lot of the state programs, you have to be homeless before we can help with some of those programs, which not everyone is literally homeless, but there are ways for us to show at risk of homelessness, whether or not you have an eviction, or if family's no longer willing to let you stay, they can write a letter and say, this person's not welcome. They can sign it, whatever they want to write on there, and say, for some reason, you can no longer stay with them. We can use that as imminent homelessness if you're no longer able to pay for your own hotel. So there's a list of descriptions of different kinds of homelessness. These are the states and HUD's definitions of homelessness. It could be multiple, but if you check one of those or whichever ones apply to you, then this portion is just telling us, what do you need besides the Pathway of Hope? Can we help you with food pantry, utility? Is it our hotel voucher program? And then if you're able to sign as yourself referring someone to us and have the client sign, this works as a release of information as well.
And we're going to make sure to attach these with our minutes, these forms, so that you all can have the digital copy. Should it be something that you want to share or have people come through your office who, or other staff that could use those. So we're going to make sure to attach those as well.
Mm-hmm. So, any of those programs, if anybody wants to volunteer, you are more than welcome to come on over. We're only open usually Tuesdays and Thursdays to walk-ins for the public. Mondays and Wednesdays, we are open by appointment only because we have limited staff. There's normally only one, maybe two people in the building on those days. And it's just not safe from harm to have people have the door open. But if you like to answer the phone and you're okay with talking to people, then you're our second person to be safe from harm, and we can be open longer. So that might, more people can get food pantry without being limited to the Tuesday, Thursday. So again, we've got plenty of ways to volunteer. Like I said, we won't turn somebody away if they come to the door on a Monday or a Wednesday. You'll get something still, but it does make it harder to continue meeting with someone or whatever else we may be doing. If you have any questions, I know it was a lot of information. Sorry to take up your time with all of it. I could go on and on about some of these programs, so I'll let Jeanette or somebody else take over.
Well, thank you. And don't apologize. Like, you guys have a lot of great stuff going on and we need to know about it. Because the truth is, I don't know who, the fact that we're serving those folks that come see you, they see us too. So we want to make sure. And that goes for all of us. I mean, like I said, the theme here is collaboration and connection and trying to help. And so some of the ways that ROSC really wants to be a part of that, while Rachel and I were talking about the mobile canteen, right? That's happening. And that's going to be in our Logan Mason area. And so jumping on, having some flyers or swag or something about your organization that you might want to share while we have an ear to hear, while we have a
Thank you
bag
for
to
bringing that up. I don't
No,
think
that's okay. I didn't forget.
forget.
Because that could be a really great way. How can I help you? Well, I know you already have so much stuff going on. So the ROSC wants to be able, if that means coming to pick up some flyers from your office, if that means, you send us something and we print something off so that we can do that. Truly, we want to be a part of helping to facilitate that. Because we understand that that can be the difficulty, and as small as that might seem, we know that communication is the key. And so we just want to help facilitate that. And so if you all have, and that includes events that you all have going on, this has to be reciprocated, right? This is how this thing works. And so please share along things that that you have going on too, so that we can jump in and serve as well. So thank you, Rachel. Does anyone have any specific questions for Rachel? Anything? Well, like I said, we are going to make sure to send out our minutes. We'll make sure to attach those documents as well, as far as referral forms and that kind of thing. And any other information you guys may want, please don't hesitate to reach out. But thanks again, Rachel, so much for joining us. We were speaking, and what was really cool is that we were serving folks without her and I communicating directly, but around the way, and people were being served in that. And so that's how it works. I mean, that's, someone kind of messaged me and then I sent over here and through there and then see them somewhere else, they got the service, and that's just how this thing works. And so I'm excited. I see us going in the right direction the more that we collaborate. So thank you again, Rachel.
I just want to go piggyback off of that. Please, please, please give me any of your event flyers, because I know if you have just with the mobile food canteen, it might just be about food when somebody comes up there. But Lincoln is a bigger city and we know a lot of resources in Lincoln. We're going to Mount Pulaski, Elkhart, Emden, and Atlanta. So for people who can't come out to us in Lincoln, who have transportation barriers, that's one more way we can give the word out for our volunteers. And they don't have to know all about the program, but they can say, hey, if you need this, here's a flyer for it. So we want to get that information and those resources out.
Absolutely.
Hey, Rachel, do you have like a set schedule of what day you're going to which town and stuff like that too?
Yes, I do. And I'll have to send that. I don't have it. And then since we just everything this month, I've been working on sealing the exact time frame, but I do know now it's Tuesday. The first Tuesday of every month is going to be Mount Pulaski and then Elkhart. So we will be in Mount Pulaski by 10:30 a.m. and we're going to stay there for an hour till 11:30, and then we'll be in Elkhart at noon and serving until 1. And that same time frame will be for Atlanta Emden. So we will be starting in Emden on the 4th Thursday of every month and then finishing in Atlanta that same day.
And if I'm not speaking out of turn, we're hoping for Mason County area to be heading that way. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. So we want to start with Logan County with these 4 cities, and then depending on volunteers as well, if we if the same two people are doing it all, it doesn't, it gets a little rough, but especially if we can get some volunteers from Mason County, that would even be helpful. I mean, we have this van and we have some small disasters that come up here or there in our counties, but I want to use it more than what it's just sitting there for. So we have a food pantry. This isn't too much extra. We just need somebody who says, I know how to drive and I'll take it out there. So I would like to help. If that's the only thing stopping somebody from getting some food, that shouldn't be.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you again, Rachel. All right. Time goes by quick. So again, we definitely just some reminders of our recovery and action group. We meet the second Tuesday of the month. We please pass it on. If you need these kind of flyers, anything that you see digitally that is up that you'll see, if you want to post it somewhere or want to share it with someone, please let me know. This is definitely the perfect place for anyone who has personal lived experience, who's a family member that struggled with someone that has touched their lives, and who is an ally, who is just looking for somewhere to put their skill and their energy, and they have a heart for. Please encourage and share this opportunity to join us. Yes, March 14th, not February 14th. Thank you. I think that was a change made before after I sent it out. March 14th is our next meeting. Again, it's the second Tuesday of the month, on Woodlawn, 523 Woodlawn at 4:30. Also coming out of some of the things we've been working on in the Recovery and Action group. Social media. You're right. I'm sorry. Our social media. So we have some upward motion, but that is an area that we really need to focus on. And we're just kind of going through a little bit of a change. So there's some of that glitch going on. But we are glad to see at least still momentum forward. So that helps. It may seem like something small too, but we know that a comment, and a share goes a long way. So if you could help us out that way, that would be great. Again, out of our community in action, wanting to make sure our recovery in action group, we want to make sure that we have access and awareness to where there are meetings available. And actually these have been updated because we have 3 other meetings that have been added. So all of those are updated and ready for to distribute. So if you're not part of my normal route, if I haven't brought them to you personally and you'd like some, please don't hesitate. This is big. This is something very small. We can put in our wallet because we have the business card size, in your purse. Put it somewhere in your glove box. I've stopped and handed some over to officers when I've seen them out and about, first responders. I even met a parole officer and who's work in our service area and gave him some. So please let us know if yes, Lynn, I hear you, I see you, and we will make sure to get some to you. But yes, we want to make sure that, our meetings are struggling. Let me just say that too. So our meetings are struggling, and we are trying to find ways to not just grow more meetings, but to create more depth in the meetings that we already have, more stability. And so that's one way that we're working. Me intentionally reaching out to people too who are required to go to meetings, to start asking kind of what the barrier is, what are they looking for, to try to meet people right where they are, so that if we don't have that, let's figure that out. And that's also, putting out, I know Mason County, we still are struggling to get meetings there. We are working on that. Lynn, I'm going to shout out to you. I do have the contact information for the H&I person. Sam has been trying to get a hold of him, and now I got the number directly to bring in some meetings there to potentially either the jail or just, to be able to offer more information. So know that I haven't forgot that, Lynn, and we do have a contact number, just waiting on the response back. But these cards, these flyers, we want to get them out. Sorry for my matrix up there. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, so let me know how we can go, or if there's a place where I haven't taken them yet and or you haven't seen them and think they ought to be, please shoot me something so I can get them there. Again, we're highlighting just a couple of the new meetings. I'm just gonna, it's too distracting, so I'm just gonna do this. So a new NA meeting started Wednesdays at noon at where Tazwood is set up on Keokuk. I had the privilege of joining them on Wednesday, and there were about 17 people at that meeting, and I only knew 3 people, and that's big for me because I'm out here all the time. And so it was so great. People were very interested, took my contact information. I'm invited to come back. But also in the real life recovery meeting that's happening at the Salvation Army, there was a veteran that joined us this week for the first time. And it was a beautiful exchange of heart. And so even if it's one person, it doesn't matter. Things are moving and we're moving forward, and it's exciting. I think sometimes we can get hesitant on doing anything because we don't have all the kinks worked out. We haven't figured out all, the pieces. Sometimes it's just powerful to get in there and get it started, and just, pivot as we move forward, as we learn. So just want to make sure we know these meetings are available to all. Let's see what's thank you. Updates from you. I don't think I sent you the most recent one. I'm noticing. I might can I share mine real quick? Yeah, I think I might need to. Maybe I made a change on it that I didn't realize.
Sure. I will stop my screen sharing and you should be able to share.
Thank you. Let's see here. Technology. Here, because this is what I wanted to highlight as well. Can y'all see that?
Yes, we see the 411.
Yes, great. I don't know if I'm showing my age with the 411. That's how it was when I was coming up. That meant we get the information and what's going on. And so want to bring attention to our Cosmic Bowling event that we have coming up. Look, y'all, I checked my email again today, and I mean, we have probably like 27 people who have said that they want to come, which is a family event, free family event. We're super excited about it. There is no other obligation other than to fellowship with each other and learn about what ROSC and meet other people in recovery. So that again is February 25th, 11:30 to 1:30 at Logan Lanes, free event. Also, our self-dubbed housing coalition of folks who've been working diligently for the last 6+ months now, trying to work, understanding the need for emergency housing, recovery housing, and that kind of thing. Kim Turner has been a true champion in leading us in that effort. And so I have asked her if she can give us a little update on the news there. Kim?
Hello, everybody. So we've been doing things behind the scenes. We haven't had meetings. The holidays disrupted some of that, obviously. We've been running down some questions that the city had for us, and I think we are close to giving all their answers. Some of that had to do with estimates and dealing with contractors. It's been taking a while getting things in writing. But the biggest news is that we applied for the Learning Collaborative, which was to address housing needs for justice-involved individuals, and we were chosen for that collaborative. There were only 5 chosen across the country, so I think we should feel good about that. I sent out a notice to some people that are you know, all those of us that are on these same committees, with a little background on the people that are assigned to us, they were very relatable. They have a lot of experience in the field, just like the rest of us. They don't have expectations of us. They're just there to help, which is really nice. And so it's basically free consulting from people who know what they're talking about and who've been down that road. And it should be really helpful. So we'll have a kickoff event in March for that. I sent that information out. We're going to have a housing meeting next week to go over where we're at and what we're looking for from this assistance. The other places that were granted, Hawaii, a place in Hawaii accepted, 2 places in Pennsylvania, and I believe the other one's Wisconsin. So they're all over. And the feedback we got was they felt like we submitted a good application in that they understood, they thought they understood what we want to do. So they felt that was focused, and they felt like we were pretty far along in the process. So they want to know how to, you know, get us moving forward. So I took that as very positive. And we are getting an Oxford house.
A little more on
So-
that, Kim?
Yes, what?
Can you share a little bit more on that?
Well, as far as I know, they're supposed to be closing by the end of the month. And I have made a referral, and that person has talked to them. So, you know, they're talking to individuals, and I haven't heard anything different.
All right. Well, we'll definitely keep our ears to the ground on that. Kim, thanks for that update, and really, in order for these kind of things to come together, I mean, there really has to be those few champions. And I just want to take a moment to appreciate Kim Turner and how much you have continued to stir up, not afraid to be a squeaky wheel for the people we serve. Your heart is definitely a big part of what we got going on here. So thank
Well,
you.
I appreciate that, but we've all been working on it and we all contribute. So
Yes.
we
Well,
just
thank you.
have to keep doing that.
That's it. Thanks for definitely being a champion alongside. We appreciate that. And if you want to know anything more, if you know someone who wants to join this collaborative effort, and we are definitely continuously seeking folks, for instance, from the faith community, you know, who's missing. If you know anyone, please share their information. Maybe you share our information with them and they want to reach out to hear more. But this is exciting. Only 5 and we were 1. So that's awesome. I always also want to bring another thing that Kim has been a big champion I'm pushing forward, but has actually, I think finally all the voices and noises came together in a willingness that our recovery meetings have started in Logan County Jail. They are taking place. Wow. I can just say there's just been a couple meetings so far. But I was there last night and the sentiment was, thank you for not forgetting about us. Thank you for coming in. It was very powerful. So I'm really grateful for that and want to make sure we are looking for other folks who could be available to help with those meetings. We are doing them on Wednesday nights, 6 to 7, the ladies meeting, and 7 to 8 for the men's meeting. I'm so grateful that we have the flexibility that I'm able to do both right now in the interim, but we have, of course, we're looking for some other folks who would be interested. So if you know someone or are someone, please share your information with me and I can connect you with the sheriff and we can figure out how all that can work. But just wanted to share that exciting exciting news. Let's see here. It's me. I was looking at Carrie like, okay, what's next? We did that. We did that. Update. So we are, of course, at the 11th hour. However, are there any updates at something that you all are doing that you would like to share? Anything coming up?
I do have another update.
Please.
So Joe Shaler and I decided to go out to Eaton and speak to them about drug court and veterans court. I've been wanting to do that, to get in the door, just to talk about what we do and really how we could work together with them. So we at least got our foot in the door to talk to someone, give them a little information, and hopefully that will be the start of sort of partnering with at least one employer and maybe getting out to some other people.
Well, that's exciting, Kim. I do know personally that the one thing that they are known for is taking on people with records, even extensive records, and giving them the opportunity. So that's exciting to have some actual dialogue about it. I would love to keep us updated on that and how we can support that.
Yeah, I will.
Also, I was talking with Kim, and we haven't figured out, I know just the willingness is there to start connecting with those who are in drug court and or probation who may be required to go to meetings, to use those folks too, or maybe pull from them or hear from them, or get their ideas and opinions about things that we could be doing that aren't happening. So just slowly but surely trying to connect the dots and fill in the gaps. So in our last 20 seconds, because of the sake of time, are there any other updates you might want to share? I definitely want to highlight again, it's not February. Our next meeting is March 16th. So I do apologize for that. It's March 16th. I will definitely send out a reminder for that. And of course, here's our contact information. If you need to reach us for anything, you have some ideas, things that we're not thinking about that maybe we need to be, please don't hesitate. Again, this is a joint effort. We can't do this alone. We got to do it together. So I think my team, is there anything else, Nadia, Carrie, anything I might be missing or?
No, I just dropped a few things in the chat, a couple of things upcoming. The Logan County Substance Use Prevention Coalition meeting is February 23rd at Lincoln Memorial Hospital at 10 a.m. in Steinfort, right, Angie? And then there is a Hidden in Plain Sight event happening at Havana Junior High School on March 1st. And then also in the chat on March 9th is the Community Health Collaborative Next Network, large group network meeting, and that's taking place at 8:30 in the morning at the Park District.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I will give you your day back. Thank you again. Understand we appreciate your time and do not take it lightly. You share it with us. Until next time, be well. See ya.